10 minutes. Compelled to consider my thoughts and presentation. My subject is what is to be a Muslim, religion in public, and the dilemmas of secular model. The most relevant and important topic for a Muslim, how to live in the modern world in the public sphere. First of all, presentation I quote the famous thinker of the Muslim thinker of today, Talal Asad. He quote about the secularism. The concept of secularism cannot do without the concept of religion. This presentation is a paper in progress in which I would like to address the question on Islamic activism and Muslim everyday life, and thereby offer a critique on Habermasian conceptual dealing with the historical and theoretical evolution of the concept of public sphere in general and the concept of public and publicness and other related concepts in Islam and Muslim societies in particular. This will in turn, I think, provide as a background to tell the story of Nursi movement, an Islamic faith movement based on the writings of Said Nursi, and will open up a new question in of the battle for studies on Islam and modernity. Here, I will also briefly describe the conceptual framework of the argument. In the second part, taking Nursi movement as a case point, I will make an attempt to further probe implication of the private-public domain and its significant presence in various domains of public life has always fascinated scholars from the different disciplines, and the location and quite few studies have emerged that focus on the dynamics of various Muslim societies across the world. In the recent past, Islamic turn is almost manifest in academic discourses with the formation of new discipline and the establishment of many centers and departments for the Islamic studies, interreligious studies, Muslim culture and societies, etc. At the universities in Europe, especially in the United Kingdoms and America. The Islamic world is necessarily a complex one, but it cannot be denied that a good part of Islamic world, through the elaboration of religious self into the public life, have been trying to blend into the spaces carved out the modernity and its various institution forms. The internet and the new forms of communication have another dimension to such a process. Physical signs of the engagements may include the construction of mosques in Europe, the changing patterns of mosque architecture in Asian countries, the popularity of the headscarf or parda, and the proliferation of the media activities, and the entry of Muslim organization into electoral politics. Clearly, these new developments have raised many new challenges that academics and policymakers are trying to contend with. Very often, new visibilities of Islamic public spaces have forced scholars to rethink the boundaries, frontiers, categories again. I'll give you a conceptual framework of public sphere and Islam. To what extent Islamic group is a part of the modern public sphere, as a conceptualized by Habermas. Can the concept of a public sphere be pluralized to accommodate the activities of Muslim organization? First of all, I will give you an explanation of public sphere. Public sphere means an area of our social life which people can come together and discuss our social problems and identities. For a Muslim, I ask a question on the basis of public sphere. How are we to conceptualize the Islamic public sphere which does not require exclusion of religion from the public sphere? On the particularly potent argument in the context of Nancy Fraser, Counter-Public, is a critique against the famous philosopher Jürgen Habermas. The Nancy Fraser Counter-Public, her concept Counter-Public, where subordinated groups seeks to contest exclusion and circulate counter-narratives to the hegemonic version of truth. Elaborating on this, Charles Hiskin, in his studies on popular media in Egypt, conceptualized an Islamic counter-public and exhibits a conceptual architecture that cut across the modern distinction between state, society, public, and private that are central to the public sphere as a normative space containing modern democratic politics. He further says that the exchange within the Islamic counter-public sphere enables its participant to formulate new forms and styles of Islamic argumentation, and this mediation plays an important agentive role in shaping religious discourses. Such a kind of non-institutional nature of dissemination of religion knowledge, says Peter Machiavelli, necessitates reconsideration and reconfiguration of various Muslim networks and lead to, according to Malik, an interpretative religion which is highly pluralistic. In my second, another subtitle on this paper, Public Sphere, Meaning and Manifestation, there are so many discussions by Jürgen Habermas and Nancy Fraser and Michael Warner, the modern thinker of the day. In the current political theory, the public sphere has come to be viewed as a social and political category largely through the intervention by the German philosopher Jürgen Habermas. His main work, The Structural Transformation of the Public Sphere, discussed the evolution of the bourgeoisie's public sphere in classical form and the transformation under the influence of structural change in the society. And the Nancy Fraser article, her article, Rethinking the Public Sphere, a contribution to the critique of the actually existing democracy, was published in a volume on Habermas and the public sphere and is to be read as a critical engagement with Habermas' public sphere concept from a feminist perspective. Fraser's conceptualization of plurality of competing publics counters the single public sphere concept by Habermas. She argues for a critical interrogation of Habermasian idealized concept, discussing mainly the exclusion of according to gender and class. Her argument is that bourgeoisie was never the public and there existed competing counter-publics. Fraser calls an alternative public in stratified societies. And we can call this counter attack or critique on the Habermasian concept as a subaltern counter-publics. Subaltern counter-publics is in order to signal that there are parallel discursive arenas where members of the subordinated social groups invent the circulated counter-discourage to formulate oppositional interpretation of their identities, interests and needs.
I have 2 minutes left.
Okay. And there are so many debates on this public sphere in concern with the Islamic world and the case study on the Nussi movement. I have to sum up on my purpose as on the case study of Nussi movement and its public sphere, how it influenced the public sphere. Said Nussi, commonly known as the Badi al-Zaman, the wonder of the age, who inspired the faith movement that has played a vital role in the revival of Islam in Turkey and now has grown into a mass movement with several million followers worldwide. Risale Nur Mu'allafi introduced the Nur movement as follows. To quote, it is a circle bound with a luminous chain stretching from east to west and from north to south. Those within it number more than 300 million at this time. The point of unity of this community, its aim to purpose is upholding the word of God. The writings of Said Nursi have 3 interrelated goals: to raise the conscience of the Muslims, to refute the dominant intellectual discourse of materialism and to recover collective memory by revising the shared grammar of society and Islam. The Nursi movement is a medium to achieve this objective and thus demonstrate the intersection of public sphere, public space morality and social practice in the formation of a community. The very philosophical project that Said Nursi has undertaken through his writing and the religious activism was to respond to the penetrating impact of positivism. According to Said Nursi, spreading man from his sacred rules is the source of poverty, war and anomicity. By realizing that, Said Nursi started to propagate his own version of science by demonstrating the compatibility of science and religion, freedom and faith, modernity and tradition. His goal was to protect the inner boundaries of the self and to resist the positivism, and he thought development of new conceptual terminology will bring not just science and religion together, but also will protect secular education from unbelief and religious education from fanaticism. So he considered science as opposed to many scholars of his time and the past, as Ibrahim Khalil has rightly said, as the decoder of the sacred language. For Nursi, a just society can be built by force, but by righteous man and woman. So he aimed at a new idiom of personality which has direct access to the public sphere. Said Nursi restructured everyday life according to the vision of Islamic ethics based on 6 constitutive concepts such as positive conduct, God-fearing, truthfulness, self-esteem, brotherhood and friendship and sincerity. His conception of being Muslim and by the being a public human being man means a moral person who uses the light of the conscience along with the light of the intellect. This Muslim personality presupposes the freedom and individualization of to form his moral and inner self. So for him, the formation of modern subjectivity requires on to internalize the shared language of Islam and employ this language to shape one's everyday life. That is to say, forming a model subjectivity through the utilization of Islamic idioms and practices. Thank you.